Well, hey guys, today we're going to do an M.2 SSD replacement for a Acer Nitro 5 series, and the exact model for this one here is AN, as in Apple Nancy, 517-52-72QF. And it's a pretty straightforward and basic installation. You don't even need any tools. All you need is your fingernails, and that's about it. So with this one here, let's start. So if you can see here, just fold the whole laptop up and just place a screen on the countertop or your table side. And what you want to do is just to show you here, you don't need to worry about placement of the screws because for this model, which is awesome, all of the screws are exactly the same length and the same size, so it doesn't matter what you take off and where you put it because they're all the same length and size. So don't worry about that. Just place them to the side somewhere safely so you don't misplace them. So once you take a look at here and remove all of the screws, this is the next position you need to do it here. So put the back part of the screen facing down, and then just lift this whole corner up here, and just use my cursor as the for you to follow to see what you need to do. And it's a very, very simple one here. And then I'll go to this picture here, as you can see, which is the top of this section here. You can start off from the top left or the top right hand corner, but all you need to do is just to put your fingernails, your thumbnail, your index fingernail, and just literally run it from the top left to the top right hand corner, and it comes off pretty simple. Then the same thing as when you're running it down here from the top right to the bottom, it's just as easy. So just do both sides, from the top right to the bottom left. Sorry, top right to the bottom right, and the top left to the bottom left. And once you've actually have that, pretty, loosely pried open, just place your laptop back down like in this position here, and then what you're seeing here, this top right hand corner would be right here. Sorry, it would be in this corner here. So all you have to do is just make sure that you stick your fingernail in there and just pull it up carefully, and do the same thing as on the left side. And once you have that, just simply pop it out. There's no trick to removing it easily, or there's no special latches that you need to pop open. You just remove the lid, and it's just that simple. And this is what it looks like here, the internals here. So as you can see here, this is where here, I'm going to flip this here. I'll go to this other picture here. Right here, this is a bay for your 2.5 inch, mechanical drive, or you can put in a 2.5 inch SSD. And right here is your M.2, which is your other SSD, which is the primary. This is the one that failed on my client. So here, I'll show you a closer picture to it, which is flip the opposite orientation here. This is the hard drive here, the M.2, and as you can see, there's only one screw here that you have to remove to replace it. And that's pretty well it. I mean, if you want to be more careful in removing the battery, not removing the battery, but disconnect the battery, I didn't do it because usually the only time I do disconnect the battery is when you're doing screen replacements. As for replacing hard drives and RAM, like stuff like that, you really don't need to be straight. I've been doing this for 23 years. I've never actually had any problems with shorting out an M.2 or a regular 2.5 inch SSD or anything like that by not unplugging the battery. But if you do want to, unplug it, I'll show you here quickly. It's pretty simple. So as you can see, the battery's situated right here. Then I'll give you a closer look to it. And this is where the connector is. And you don't need to slide any tabs or anything. I'll give you a much closer picture here. At first, when I looked at this, I actually thought that I had to push the tabs up towards me here. But these tabs have nothing to do with it. All you have to do is just stick your finger on one of these. You'll see a notch right there. You see that on the right side? So there's one on the left side also. All you got to do is literally just put your finger in on it and just wiggle it straight up. It's the same thing as both sides. And then once you have that, the plug comes right off. So if you do want to be careful and worried about damaging your SSD, go ahead and unplug the battery first, just the connector itself. You don't need to remove the battery because there's plenty of room for the cable to just come out without you having to unscrew or remove the battery. So I hope that helps. I mean, it's a pretty simple forward and straight install. So if you guys have any questions or any comments, just place them in the comments below. And thanks for watching. Have a good day, guys.